Hello everyone and welcome back to Drive Steady. Ford has made the build and price tool available for the new Shelby GT500, so come along with us and let's build one together. So here we are on the Ford.com build and price tool for the 2020 Mustang, and genuinely as a Mustang GT350 owner, I was interested about the build and price for the 2020 GT350 and the GT500, more so for the 500. So I came here just to check it out, and one of the things I immediately noticed was the price hike for the GT350 and even more specifically the GT350R. When these cars first came out, I remember when I was shopping for a GT350 in 2016 or 2017, the base price was much lower than this. I believe it was $55,000, and for the R it was, I want to say, 63 or 64,000. I don't remember exactly, but it was definitely not 73,435. I made a video comparing the differences between the GT500 and the GT350R. I'll link that to the description below. And I ask a question: why is Ford raising the price of the GT350R this much in the 2020 model year? For the most part, it's the same car, and there aren't really any changes except for, yes, I know the block is now it's a shared block between the GT500 and the GT350, but I don't know if it warrants this almost $10,000 price increase, making it more expensive than the GT500. Okay, so that's enough for the GT350 talk and the price raising and whatnot. So let's jump into the GT500 build. And immediately you're greeted with this nice picture of the GT500. I like the Ford build and price tool. They give you multiple different angles. The one piece of it that I don't like is the interior only has two angles. It's this one and basically this one. You don't get a 360-degree turn like you do for some of the other build and price tools. But nonetheless, let's just keep going. I don't want to talk about things that aren't really important at this time. So first, the colors. One great thing about Ford is they offer a big or a wide spectrum of colors. Now, with that, I have a complaint here. Why are there three different colors of blue, or three different shades of blue? Kona blue, sure, I get it. It's a pretty popular color. Ford Performance Blue is new, and they're pushing it in these new sports cars. And Velocity Blue is just another shade of blue. In this configurator, it looks like Grabber Blue, but it is the farthest thing from Grabber Blue. It's just a lighter shade. I'm not sure exactly how to describe it, but nonetheless, again, diverting away, just a complaint from me on why are there three colors of blue. Okay, all right, anyway, moving on. So for me, a couple colors that I like. I do like the Ford Performance Blue of all the other blue colors. I like the Iconic Silver a lot. This is a very underrated color. It's not a traditional silver. In the shade, it looks almost grayish. It's not as gray as Magnetic, but Icon Silver is another one of my favorites. Of course, Twister Orange is a very popular color for this GT500. And my favorite is the Grabber Lime, and this is the one I'm going to go with because, like I've mentioned in some of my other videos, I am a total sucker for green exterior paint, and I think this one is not only a nice shade of green in both shade and in the light, it also offers this interesting color for this GT500. So Grabber Lime is the color I'm going to go with, but before I move on to the rest of the color options, I'd like to know what color you think looks best on the GT500. Alright, so next you come down to the stripes. So you can get side vinyl stripes for $375. You can get them in black, white, or Kona blue. Here's the black one, there's the white one, and there's Kona blue. One thing to keep in, you can't get Kona blue with the Grabber Lime paint, which makes sense. One thing to keep in mind here if you are going with the side stripes, you cannot get the painted stripes for the rest of the car. You must get the vinyl stripes. So for example, I want the white vinyl side stripes. I like those a lot. But for example, if I went to the stripes, I'm going to get stripes on the car as well. Let me switch the camera here. So if I pick the painted stripes, it's going to make me remove the side stripes. So if you're a side stripes kind of guy or gal, you are going to have to settle with the vinyl stickers as stripes as opposed to painted. Yes, it sucks, but it makes sense because if you're going to paint these center stripes on top of the car and then you have these in vinyl, it's not going to jive very well together. And the difference between getting the vinyl and the painted stripes, obviously the vinyl, it has some benefits. For example, if I got these white stripes and in a month or two, I decided, you know what, I don't really like the way this looks, I can pull these off and put black stripes on them. But if you're paying the $10,000 for the white stripes, you better like these white stripes because they are not coming off. You can't pull these things off. So, yes, like I mentioned, going back to my build, white stripes, side stripes for me, meaning I have to buy the vinyl stripes for $1,000. I'm going to skip the painted black roof. You can get it for $695, and I'm not sure if this configurator is working properly, but as you can see, if you option the black roof, it paints the white stripes over it. What I've seen typically is there are no stripes on top of the roof if you get the black roof, but nonetheless, this just looks kind of silly. I'm not sure why anybody would option it this way, but I'm definitely not picking the black roof. Give me more of that green exterior paint. Next, you come down to the powertrain, and as everyone knows, or you may not know, this car comes with a 5.2 liter supercharged cross-plane crank V8. It pumps out 760 horsepower and 625 pounds-feet of torque. Then you've got the Tremec 7-speed dual clutch. No manual transmission in this car, but a lot of kudos to Ford for putting a double clutch transmission in it as opposed to a conventional torque converter automatic, which a lot of car companies are doing. As an example, BMW is putting a traditional torque converter automatic in the new BMW M5, M8, all of these M cars, which were traditionally known as sports cars with manual transmissions or double clutch transmissions, are now moving to automatics. So at least there is a double clutch being offered in this wonderful GT500. Next are the packages. You get pretty nice standard equipment in the GT500. So the standard items on the GT500 are a pretty long list. Obviously, these here you can see are the performance related items, the supercharged engine, the 373 limited slip differential, or I'm sorry, limited slip rear axle. Those are the gear ratios there, 373. You get the launch control, the magnetic ride, the 20-inch wheels, and the huge pizza-sized brakes. Then you've got obviously the dual exhaust vents, the LED sequential taillights, which are a hallmark of the Mustang, and some additional safety features down here. And separately, you've got the interior wrapped in Alcantara and leather, dual zone automatic climate control. Here's one that you get standard, which you don't get standard in any other Mustang, and that's the 12-inch LCD digital instrument gauge cluster. So yeah, you get a nice chunk of stuff here that is very functional. I don't blame anybody for just going with a standard Mustang because they give you everything that you need in the base version. Moving on into the other packages, you've got here the carbon fiber track pack, which is pretty controversial because of its $18,500 price tag, but I think this is going to make a significant difference. Obviously, in the looks, it adds that big wing in the back, and you get the extra spoilers and the carbon fiber wheels and the upgraded tires, the Michelin Cup Sport 2s, the rear seat delete. You get some interior carbon fiber treatment. A lot of people are complaining about this, but I think this is going to make a significant difference in the performance of this vehicle. And for me, I'm not really going to track this car much, but call me a homer. I think this track pack completes the look of the GT500. The carbon fiber wheels, the carbon fiber wing, the interior carbon fiber pieces, it just fits together, and my opinion of it is you're buying the performance version, just get the performance option as well. One thing that I have a question for you guys is in this configurator, it looks like the splitter wickers and the bottom extra spoiler here that extends out is in carbon fiber. I'm not sure if this is the way it's going to be once the car is in production, but I remember during the press release and all the other articles coming out about the GT500, this piece and the splitter wicker were not in carbon fiber. So if you know, or if you can clarify that item for me, please drop a comment down below and share that information with me and all the other viewers. Going to the next option here, as an alternative, if you're not interested in the carbon fiber track pack, Ford has given you the handling pack, and what that does is gives you the gurney flap and it gives you splitter wickers. So let's assume you're not picking this for a second here. So you get an extra gurney flap back here, and in this version it's got the splitter wickers, but in the standard version you're not going to get these. So if you option the handling pack, you will get these splitter wickers for $1,500 and that gurney flap like I mentioned. So it's a nice happy medium for those people who are not, well, it's not really a happy medium as far as pricing goes, because look at the difference, $1,500, $18,500, but it's a happy medium with respect to the equipment that you're getting. Some people like this extra splitter wicker here, and they can buy this extension separately, and the gurney flap, most people will be happy with that. All right, next is the technology package, and the technology package gets you a whole slew of stuff. So you get the Bang & Olufsen speaker system, you get the blind spot monitoring, the heated exterior mirrors, but more importantly, you get the very cool looking Cobra LED projector puddle lamps. These are awesome. I wish my car had them. Unfortunately, they don't, but nonetheless, they are very cool. Then you've got the typical voice-activated touchscreen navigation system, which you can see here. I must say that I've used different navigation systems in the past in the other European cars or even other American cars, and I've got a similar system here. I think this is the upgraded one. I've got one in my Shelby GT350, and it's actually a very intuitive system. It's easy to use, easy to get used to, and it's just very clear and no complaints from me. So this is a nice system to use. The 6-way driver's seats with 3 memory settings. Now remember, this does not make a difference if you option the track package, because the track package comes with the manual Recaro seats. For me, I'm optioning this because I like the Bang & Olufsen sound system. I do like this blind spot information system as well, and like I mentioned, these Cobra puddle lamps are really cool. I really want them. And it sucks because Ford is bundling it in for $3,000. I wish they would just offer this on its own, but it is what it is. Next are the exterior options, and of course, because we're buying the track package, we get the exposed carbon fiber wheels, and I must say these look unbelievably cool. Very sharp looking wheel. Not taking anything away from the base wheels, these also look great, but the exposed carbon fiber, there's just something cool about them. And the active valve performance exhaust, you get that as a part of the track pack as well. And then you've got the car covers. They come in black, blue, gray, and red. Me personally, I could care less, so I'm going to skip that. And then because we're getting the track pack again, we're getting the Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires. If you didn't get the track pack, the car comes with the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, which a lot of people like, and they are the Evolution version of the Michelin Pilot Sport, the regular ones that my car has, the GT350. Next is the last part, and that's the interior. So let me switch the view to the interior, and you can see that because I've optioned the track pack, I've got the Recaro seats, and I think these look really, really sharp compared to the previous generation Recaro seats. Structurally, they are the same. However, you get this extra white piping, white stitching, and the interior overall for the Mustang is a lot better after the facelift. You got leather here as opposed to being hard plastic, and then as a part of the track package, you also get the carbon fiber instrument panel, which runs all the way across your dash. I know in the Camaro, for example, there's like a small piece that runs along about this much of the dash, which I think looks kind of ridiculous. But Ford has done a nice job in designing this piece. Now, covering some of the seat options. So, like I said, I've got the Recaro seats because of the track pack. However, let's assume you don't want the track pack. You can get these leather trim sports seats separately, and they have some of the cool features that the other one does, like the other one doesn't, the Recaros that is, in that they're automatic and they have memory seats. In addition to that, they're heated and cooled. The Recaro seats don't get that. So that's something to keep in mind. And in addition to that, even if you're not getting the track pack, you can still get the Recaro seats for $1,595. So if you say, I don't want the track pack, I don't want the carbon fiber wheels, I don't want the big wing out back, but I do want the Recaro seats because I just like the way they look, you can absolutely do that. And it's very nice of Ford to allow you pick this Recaro seat option. And in addition to that, you get to keep your back seats, which you don't in the track pack. So now let's go back up and let's enable my track pack option here and continue on with the rest of my build. And if you're wondering why after I selected the track pack the rear seats still remain, it's because it's probably a configurator error. They don't have it ready or working properly. But to reiterate, when you pick the track pack, you are going to lose your back seats. All right, next, like I mentioned, the 12-inch LCD digital instrument cluster that comes standard in the GT500. You can get the 6-way power driver and power lumbar seats without memory. Now remember, the one above is with memory. This is without memory. You can get that if you don't get the track pack. Then you've got the climate controlled front seats, heated and cooled. Remember, this is the one that's included as a part of the leather trim seats. Here, the dual zone automatic climate control, the exposed carbon fiber instrument panel, which comes as a part of the track pack. And here are the memory driver seats, 3 settings and mirrors. This is also a part of that option up above the regular seats. And the rear seat delete, you can see here, is kind of like a view. Let me see if they got a bigger picture of it. They do not, unfortunately, but this is what the rear seat delete looks like. And of course, that comes as a part of the GT500 track pack. The selectable drive modes and toggle switches, this is very customary in the Mustang. They've been around since the launch of this new Mustang generation. AM/FM stereo with HD radio, that's pretty typical. Bang & Olufsen sound system, 12 speakers with subwoofer. This is a part of the electronic package. Sirius XM radio, also a part of it. Sync 3, voice activated touchscreen navigation with Sirius XM traffic and travel link. All right, so we have come to the conclusion of this build and price for the GT500. This is the one I would configure for myself. Grabber lime with the vinyl stripes in the middle and the vinyl stripes on the side here, with the carbon fiber track pack, which come with the cool looking carbon fiber wheels and the Michelin Cup Sport 2 tires, and of course the big wing out back, which some people don't like. I personally think it looks really cool and it sets the car off. And then on the interior, I've got the wonderful Recaro seats, but as I mentioned, it's got this nice white piping which flows very nicely, at least in my opinion, with the white striping on the exterior of my car. And then you've got the carbon fiber pieces here. And that's my build. The rest of it is actually very similar to a GT350, except obviously you got this gear selector here instead of a traditional 6-speed transmission. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching it till the end. Until next time, drive steady.